In the heart of New York City, where skyscrapers pierce the sky like giants awakening from slumber, Sarah clutched her shopping list tightly, her heart pounding as a sudden downpour soaked her to the bone. Little did she know, this ordinary errand run would unravel into a whirlwind of unexpected encounters, lost treasures, and life-changing decisions amidst the city's iconic chaos. Sarah had always dreamed of New York City, the Big Apple, they called it. As a young English teacher from a small town in the Midwest, she had moved here 6 months ago to immerse herself in the vibrant energy of the metropolis. But today, on a crisp autumn Saturday, her mission was simple: conquer a list of errands and shopping tasks that had piled up during a hectic work week. She needed groceries, a new outfit for an upcoming job interview, and to pick up a gift for her best friend's birthday. What she didn't anticipate was how this day would test her survival English skills, turning a routine outing into an engaging adventure filled with drama, new friendships, and the magic of the city's famous landmarks. Sarah stepped out of her tiny apartment in Brooklyn, the cool breeze carrying the scent of roasted chestnuts from a nearby street vendor. "Good morning. 1 bag of chestnuts, please," she said to the vendor, practicing her clear enunciation. The man smiled, his accent thick with Italian roots. "That'll be $5, miss. Enjoy your day in the city." She paid with exact change, feeling a small victory in the everyday exchange. These little interactions were why she loved New York. They forced her to speak up, listen carefully, and navigate the melting pot of languages. Her first stop was the subway. Rushing down the stairs to the platform, she swiped her Metro card and boarded the crowded 4 train heading to Manhattan. "Excuse me, does this train go to Grand Central?" she asked a fellow passenger, a middle-aged woman with a shopping bag overflowing with fruits. "Yes, it does. Next stop after this one," the woman replied kindly. Sarah nodded, repeating the phrase in her mind. "Does this train go to?" It was basic but essential for any visitor or newcomer. Emerging from Grand Central Terminal, Sarah marveled at the grandeur of the place. The famous constellation ceiling twinkled above, painted with stars that seemed to whisper stories of travelers past. Tourists snapped photos, and businessmen hurried by with briefcases. "What a beautiful station," she murmured to herself. But she had no time to linger. Her errands beckoned. She headed straight for Macy's Herald Square, the iconic department store that spanned an entire city block. Known as the world's largest store, it was a shopper's paradise, especially during the fall sales. As she entered Macy's, the bustling energy hit her like a wave. Elevators dinged, perfume scents wafted from the cosmetics counters, and announcements blared over the speakers. "Attention shoppers, our one-day sale on designer handbags starts now on the 3rd floor." Sarah pulled out her list: new dress for interview, birthday gift for Emily, and some household items. She started with the clothing section. Browsing the racks, she picked up a sleek black dress. "Excuse me, do you have this in size 8? She asked a sales associate named Maria, whose name tag sparkled under the lights. Maria checked the stock. "Let me see. Yes, we do. Would you like to try it on?" Sarah followed her to the fitting rooms, practicing more phrases. "How much is this? Is there a discount?" The dress fit perfectly, hugging her figure just right. "I'll take it," she said confidently. At the checkout, she engaged in small talk. "Busy day today?" Maria laughed. "Always in New York. Where are you from?" Sarah explained her Midwest roots, and they chatted about the city's fast pace. This was survival English at its best, building connections through simple conversations. With the dress bagged, Sarah moved to the gift section for Emily's present. She spotted a beautiful silver necklace with a pendant shaped like the Statue of Liberty. Perfect for a New Yorker at heart, she thought. But as she reached for her wallet, disaster struck. Her phone buzzed with an urgent text from her roommate. "Sarah, emergency. The landlord is here about the leaky faucet. Can you pick up plumbing tape from the hardware store?" Sighing, she added it to her list. Drama was already creeping in, balancing personal errands with unexpected home issues. Leaving Macy's, Sarah decided to take a scenic route to her next stop. She walked towards Times Square, the neon-lit heart of the city. Billboards flashed with advertisements for Broadway shows, and street performers juggled fire while tourists posed for selfies. The famous red steps of TKTS glowed under the sun, and the naked cowboy strummed his guitar in his signature underwear and hat ensemble. "What a vibrant place," Sarah said aloud, dodging a group of excited visitors. "Pardon me, could you take my photo?" a tourist asked, holding out a camera. "Sure, smile," Sarah replied, snapping the picture. These moments reminded her why New York was famous. Its people were as iconic as its landmarks. But the drama escalated when Sarah realized her wallet was missing. Panic set in. "Oh no, where is it?" she whispered, rifling through her bags. Had she left it at Macy's or dropped it in the subway? Her heart raced as she retraced her steps back to the store. "Excuse me, has anyone turned in a brown leather wallet?" she asked the customer service desk, her voice trembling slightly. The clerk, a young man named Alex, checked the lost and found. "Not yet, ma'am. Can you describe it? Any ID inside?" Sarah described it in detail. "It's small, with a zipper, and my driver's license from Illinois." Alex noted it down. "We'll call if it turns up. In the meantime, maybe check with the police or your bank." Defeated but determined, she canceled her cards via her phone app, another practical skill she'd learned. "This is turning into a nightmare," she thought. To calm her nerves, she headed to Bryant Park, a beautiful oasis behind the New York Public Library. The park's green lawns and French-inspired carousel provided a serene escape from the urban hustle. Famous for its free Wi-Fi and outdoor meeting room, it was a favorite spot for locals and tourists alike. Sitting on a bench, Sarah watched children play and pigeons flock around food carts. "Hot dogs, get your hot dogs here," a vendor called. She bought one, practicing, "Mustard and ketchup, please. How much?" As she ate, a handsome stranger sat nearby. "Mind if I join you? This park is my go-to for a break," he said with a warm smile. His name was Jake, a graphic designer from Queens. They struck up a conversation. "What brings you to Bryant Park?" Sarah shared her disastrous day so far. "Lost my wallet. Classic New York story, right?" Jake sympathized. "Happens to the best of us. Want help looking? I know the area well." Touched by his kindness, Sarah agreed. Together, they walked back to Times Square, chatting about their lives. Jake pointed out hidden gems. "See that building? It's the New York Times headquarters. And over there, the ball drops on New Year's Eve." Their dialogue flowed naturally, filled with questions like, "What do you do?" and "Have you been to the Empire State Building?" It was engaging English practice, turning a bad day dramatic yet hopeful. Back at Macy's, good news awaited. The wallet had been turned in. "A kind lady found it in the fitting room," Alex said. Relieved, Sarah thanked him profusely. "You're a lifesaver." Turning to Jake, she said, "I owe you one. Coffee?" They headed to a nearby Starbucks, ordering lattes. "Grande caramel macchiato, please," Sarah said at the counter. Over drinks, the conversation deepened. Jake shared stories of his immigrant parents, and Sarah opened up about her teaching dreams. "Teaching English here is challenging but rewarding," she said. "Kids from all over the world. It's like the United Nations in my classroom." Energized, Sarah continued her errands. Next was the grocery store at Union Square Market, a famous farmers market bustling with fresh produce. Stalls overflowed with apples from upstate orchards, artisanal cheeses, and flowers in every color. 2 pounds of tomatoes, please," she told a vendor, "and a bunch of basil." Bargaining lightly, "Any deals today?" The vendor grinned. "For you, yes. Buy one, get one half off on herbs." She loaded her bags, feeling accomplished. But drama struck again when her phone rang. Emily, her friend. "Sarah, my party's tonight. Did you get the gift?" In the wallet chaos, she'd forgotten to wrap it. Rushing to a nearby stationery store, she bought wrapping paper. "Do you have gift bags too?" she asked the clerk. Rapping on a park bench in Union Square, she admired the famous statues and the lively chess players. Union Square was beautiful, with its history of protests and gatherings, a symbol of New York's activist spirit. With groceries in tow, Sarah headed for the hardware store for the plumbing tape. "Aisle 5 for plumbing supplies," the employee directed. "Anything else?"
She grabbed a few extras. Light bulbs and duct tape, please. Paying, she practiced, "Do you accept credit cards?" Back on the subway, bags heavy, she reflected on the day. But wait, one more stop. Central Park, the crown jewel of New York. She needed a moment of peace before heading home. Entering Central Park from the south, Sarah wandered past Bethesda Terrace with its stunning fountain and angel statue. Tourists rode boats on the lake, and musicians played violins under the arches. It was dramatically beautiful, leaves turning gold in the autumn light. "What a view!" she sighed. Suddenly, she bumped into Jake again. "Fancy meeting you here," he laughed. "Following me?" Sarah teased. They walked together, sharing more stories. "Have you seen the zoo?" Jake asked. "Or Strawberry Fields?" They visited the Imagine Mosaic, honoring John Lennon, a famous, poignant spot. As the sun set, painting the skyline orange, Sarah's day wound down, but the drama peaked when Jake confessed, "I didn't just sit next to you by accident. I saw you looking stressed and wanted to help." Blushing, Sarah admitted the attraction was mutual. "This city's full of surprises," she said. They exchanged numbers, promising a date at the Empire State Building Observatory, another iconic landmark with breathtaking views. Finally, back in Brooklyn, Sarah unpacked her bags. The dress hung in her closet, the gift wrapped, errands complete. Exhausted but exhilarated, she realized this day was more than shopping. It was a lesson in survival English, resilience, and the magic of New York. From the chaos of Times Square to the serenity of Central Park, the city had woven drama into her routine, teaching her phrases like "lost and found," "can you help?" and "let's meet again." As she drifted to sleep, Sarah smiled. Tomorrow, another adventure awaited in the city that never sleeps.
Sarah's morning began with a quick breakfast at a local diner in Brooklyn. "I'll have eggs over easy, toast, and coffee, black," she ordered, listening to the waiter's response, "Come and ride up, cream or sugar?" These interactions honed her listening skills, catching nuances and accents. On the subway, a delay announced, "Attention passengers, due to signal problems, we're held momentarily." Sarah asked a neighbor, "How long do these delays usually last?" "Could be 5 minutes or 50, the man replied with a shrug. She used the time to review her list mentally. At Grand Central, she paused to admire the whispering gallery, where voices carried across the arched ceiling. "Test, 1, 2, she whispered to herself, hearing the echo. Famous for its acoustics, it was a hidden gem. In Macy's, the dress shopping scene expanded. She tried on 3 outfits. "This one is too tight. Do you have a larger size?" Maria suggested alternatives. "How about this blue one? It's on sale for 30% off." Dialogue. "Does it come in other colors? Red, perhaps?" "Yes, let me grab it." The wallet loss. She searched her bags frantically. "Think, Sarah, where was the last place you had it?" Flashback to paying for the dress. Rushing back, heart pounding. In Bryant Park, more description. The lawn dotted with picnickers, the library's lion statues guarding the entrance. Jake's introduction. "I'm Jake. You look like you could use a friend." They discussed favorite NYC spots. "Central Park is beautiful, but have you been to the High Line?" Sarah asked. "Not yet. Let's go sometime." After finding the wallet, coffee chat. "Tell me about your job," Jake said. "I design logos for startups. What about you?" "Teaching English to immigrants. It's rewarding but tough. Kids mispronounce words and I have to correct gently." Union Square Market. Detailed bargaining. "These apples look fresh. Where are they from?" "Hudson Valley, ma'am. Best in the state." "I'll take a dozen. Any organic options?" Hardware store. "I'm looking for plumbing tape for a leaky faucet." Employee. "Teflon tape? Right here. Need tools too?" "Just the tape, thanks." Central Park. Extended walk. They visited Belvedere Castle, a fairy tale structure overlooking the park. "The view from here is stunning. The reservoir sparkles," Jake said. Drama. A sudden rain shower forced them under a bridge, laughing. New York's weather is unpredictable.